What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Hot Mic here on the Outlaw Nation channel. I am the Outlaw John Rocha, joined as always by the Sneider himself, Jeff Sneider, resplendent in his coral/pink sweater there. How are you, Jeff?
Hello, Johnny boy! What's up, my man?
What's up, brother? You're looking great. Look at that. That color agrees with you, especially with little suntan going on, little redness. It all works, man. It all works.
Like that. Thank you.
What era is this? This is your.
It's the pink cardigan era. You know, I filmed a video for my niece this week because she graduated from pre-K.
Nice,
congratulations. I sent it to my brother and my sister-in-law to show to her, and my brother's like, "Dude, what's up with that pink cardigan?" I'm like, "Like it? Like I'm gonna be wearing it a lot when I'm home." And he's like, "You should leave it on the plane." I got 2 screens now. Look at that. Do we lose you, John? I guess
that my internet just went down. That was weird. Sorry about that, guys. That was weird. Anyway, Jeff, that's great to hear about your niece. Congratulations to her. It's all downhill from here, though. It's all downhill from here. So once you go into elementary school, it's all down here. So I hope you enjoyed kindergarten. All right. So we got so much to get into here today, though. We got so much to talk about from the world of DC, Marvel, films, television, all the stuff we're going to jump into, box office news and what have you, Jeff. So we got so much to happen, or so much to talk about. Please make sure to send in your Streamlabs Super Chats as we're going on. So many of you text me afterwards or message afterwards. Oh, I meant to send it in, but I forgot because I got caught up what you guys are talking about. Don't do that. Send it in. As soon as it occurs to you, send it in. You see the Streamlabs address right above Jeff's head, I think, and then you can see it I'm going to put it in the chat in just a second, but send in all your love on Super Chats and Streamlabs. There's a lot we're going to get into here today. And of course, Jeff, we got to start off with this one. This one kind of broke earlier. Spaceballs 2. This is apparently happening just as Yogurt predicted here. That's right. Who knows? God willing, we'll all meet again in Spaceballs 2, the search for more money. And it is happening here. Spaceballs 2. Of course, this has been a project that's been around for quite some time and trying to make happen, Jeff. Josh Gad being one of the big people trying to make this happen. It looks like it is finally coming to be, with Rick Moranis coming back to reprise the role there of Dark Helmet. And then you've got Bill Pullman coming back as well, and Kiki Palmer, who I imagine will probably take the place of the Daphne Zuniga energy in the film itself. But this is an interesting situation with Josh Greenbaum, who directed Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar, which is a very unusual yet funny comedy. So what are your thoughts on this news, Jeff? What do you think of that teaser? Mel at 99, bro. First
of all, I thought the teaser was great.
Yes, I agree.
I thought it was hilarious, and I think it held a mirror up to Hollywood and was like, this is what you guys are doing now. This is where we are and where we've come. First of all, I'm just like Josh Gad. I was the person who saw Spaceballs first and then saw Star Wars and was like, why did they make an unfunny Spaceballs? I think that's a Mike Lawrence joke, too. But I loved Spaceballs. Obviously, it's very Jewish in its humor.
Yes.
May the Schwartz be with you. The Schwartz is with me. It's within all of us, really. And I am excited. I'm a big Josh Gad fan. And I was kind of looking forward to his Honey, I Shrunk the Kids movie, which is seemingly, stalled out or whatever. I don't know what the deal is with that, but I'm glad that he's doing Spaceballs and that they're doing it while they can, while Mel Brooks is still alive to make it. I mean, how old is Mel Brooks now? 95, 97? 99 years old.
Yeah.
So there's probably some pressure to actually get this movie made. I think it's incredible that he's still going, that he's going to co-star in this.
I love the ending of it because it's so crazy to see that he still has that energy, that winking, impish energy of his that's so amazing. Yet the warm-heartedness that always comes through with his humor, right? The best of his movies always have a bit of a warm heart at the center for all their sarcasm and sending up of the tropes and of the cliches that they do with a lot of his movies. But I love that energy was there. And yes, you make such an excellent point, Jeff. That opening crawl as just an indictment on Hollywood, it makes you feel like we're missing that we've missed this kind of humor as a source of entertainment for us through the years, since it's kind of gone away. But yes, it's a very Jewish type of humor. I love Jewish humor. I gravitate to it. I mean, that's my kind of, it's what I grew up in watching on the variety shows in the 70s and 80s. So I love that Mel is coming back to do this. I'm a little less sold than you on the Josh Gad of it all. I'm not a big Josh Gad person, so you and I are opposite sides on that. And he said that, everyone who read his script loved it. So, of course, Josh loves himself. So there you go. He's put that in motion. But
what have you got against Josh Gad? What has Josh Gad ever done to you?
Where do you want to start? With the situation, though, I mean, this is interesting because we saw his, History of the World Part 2. And for me, I thought that was pretty terrible. So I'm concerned that this is not going to necessarily hit the heights that you want, that first one did. Do you have any concerns beyond your joy as a fan, though? Can you put that aside? And do you have any concerns going into this if they're going to get this right? Like, is this the right director?
Yeah,
this the right
I do. I think he has a unique sense of humor, Greenbaum.
Yeah.
Barbenstar, was really fun for parts. I mean, it's not for everybody.
I like that film. Yeah.
Yeah. It may wear out its welcome a little bit and get a little obnoxious, but if you're on its wavelength, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And and that's a low budget. I think he's gonna have a real budget for this.
Yeah.
I love that they got the original cast back. Daphne Zuniga is back.
She is coming back. Okay.
He is back. Louis
great.
Pullman was just added to the cast.
Right. Probably playing their son, right? You imagine.
Yeah. I hope so. It should be an all hands on deck sort of thing. And I'll be honest, I'm not a huge Mel Brooks guy.
What?
Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he was a little too old. Again, if I had an older brother or an uncle who was super into movies and showing me that stuff, maybe I would have liked it more. But Spaceballs was always my favorite. And I don't think you can look at History of the World Part 2 on Hulu, which I didn't even bother with. I'm not a History of the World guy.
Yeah.
I don't think you can look at that and be like, oh, well, Spaceballs is going to wind up like that. I think that there's a lot more care that's been put into this. I am looking forward to it.
He's wanted it for quite some time. Josh Gad has, apparently. This has been something he has been pushing for quite some time. So you hope they get, the right things in motion. And I hope they're right about his script, that people like it. I don't want to cheer against this movie. Lord knows we need humor. And as you said, Jeff, and many people have spoken about recently, humor, comedy, where's comedies gone? Where have comedies gone? And so having a comedy come back, which is going to be through Amazon, do you think it'll be theatrical? Or do you think it'll be on their streaming service?
It's a good question.
Yeah, because it just says Amazon MGM Studios, but it doesn't say whether it's going to be on Prime or if it's going to be in the theaters then to Prime. Oh, slated for release in theaters in 2027.
I was going to say in theaters because you don't make an announcement video like that for a streaming release.
Good point. Good point.
And they have been. If you look Heads of State, I think it's just Prime Video.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah.
The Eddie Murphy movie, The Pickup, that is Prime Video. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Mark Wahlberg, Paul Walter Hauser movie Balls Up ended up just going to Prime Video.
Oh right, yeah.
So it does feel like comedies are sort of that's what they're doing with a lot of them.
Right.
But what was that Aquafina movie, right? With the Death Grand Lotto, or
Yeah. The one with John Cena. Yeah.
That was maybe the original title. I forget. But it just seems like a lot of comedies are going there. But Spaceballs feels bigger than those, and it's also an IP. It's a recognizable IP. So I'm glad it's getting a theatrical release.
Yeah. I like Keke Palmer being added to the mix as well, because a lot of people really liked One of Them Days from earlier this year with SZA, and so having her stay in that kind of comedy area, she does really good. I mean, she was great in Nope, and she's great in the drama stuff, but I really enjoy when she gets a chance to have some fun in comedies, because she's a very engaging and fun actress to watch in a comedy. So I think that's a great casting.
I like her a lot too. Yeah.
All right, so we'll see. Well, so there's good intro. Now let's see when they finish up the cast and then start going forward and seeing the first few clips of this thing. So we will see as it goes along. Just a reminder here is we have 500 of you watching us now. Remember that the Streamlabs super chats are open. Send in your love, send in your support here for the channel and for the show specifically here, because any questions you want to ask, we will answer here near the end of the show. All right, Jeff.
Let's ask the question of who's playing Dorothy in Wicked for Good.
Okay, go ahead. Yes.
I mean,
you have thoughts?
It's been rumored up and down that it's Alicia Weir, and yet passionately denied.
Oh.
By insiders.
Wow.
But then it's well, she, if you've seen the play, she's barely in it. And who knows if you're even going to see her face. And I'm like, okay, but she's in the trailer. We see that's a person. We can agree that there's someone playing Dorothy.
Correct.
So to me, it's a great mystery, and I can't wait to see who it is come November, or if we hear more, about Dorothy.
Have you been?
This whole game is driving me insane.
Have you been hunting it down? Yeah, tell me why it's driving you insane. I mean, what is it? Have you been trying to find out?
Listen, you're Wicked for Good. You're not Star Wars or Marvel. It's like, what makes you entitled to keep like a secret like this? And again, I'm not saying that anybody's lying to the press. I'm just saying because it's being denied. And they had that reaction video with Alicia Weir's sister.
Oh yeah.
Now it's like, if I showed that to somebody who's a body language expert, she's smiling like she's barely containing her smile every time they show Dorothy in the trailer.
Right.
I'm like, okay, you're telling me that's not her? Like,
right.
Come on.
Well, what if I don't think I know her. What has she been in? What can you name?
Alicia was like Matilda, right? And she's Abigail from the little vampire girl. Ballerina.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I can't.
I haven't seen that yet.
I don't know for sure what shots are in Wicked and if you are going to see Dorothy's face. And so, for all I know, we'll never know. But I just have this weird feeling, and it's frustrating to have insiders deny it.
I mean,
unless it's not true, in which case deny away. I'm not calling anybody a liar.
Yeah,
it's just weird.
They're not ready to announce it. You know how it is.
Are they? Do you think it's like? Can't be the kind of thing where you can film it a couple weeks before, like one of these credit scenes for Marvel, and it's like some big star of the moment.
I think it's already been shot. There's no way that they're saving to shoot the scenes or whatever. By the way, this is her, just to give y'all a little look at who Alicia Weir, in case you don't know who she is. So yeah, I mean, there's no way that, you know what? Looking at that photo though, I mean, that looks like it's her from behind, man. I mean, the head shape's almost the same.
You could turn her around and that could be Anne Hathaway. I mean, I have no idea.
I guarantee you it's not Anne Hathaway.
I'm just like, I don't understand this. Like, we don't want to spoil who's playing Dorothy or why this is being kept a big secret, especially if she's not in and you don't see her face. Like, what,
Well, let me throw it out there. I think the reason they're hiding it is because they don't want to betray how big of a role it is, because there's a lot of rumors that it's going to be a bigger role than it is in the musical. So if you
I don't know. I haven't heard anything to that effect.
Right. Well, I'm saying this. I've heard the rumors that it might be a bigger role. I mean, because look, if you combine what's going to be the runtime of this one and the runtime of the first one, it's almost 2 hours longer than the actual musical. So they're adding stuff as they did in the last one, or moving things around. So I imagine they're going to add more Dorothy stuff, and that's been the rumor. So depending on who they cast, that could betray how big of a role it's going to be.
That's like the whole thing. Like, yeah. Well, like, you think like, oh, if in the final edit she's not in it that much, and so they're like, all right, well then we don't need to show her face,
right?
Like, kind of thing,
right? Yeah.
I just like, I asked her reps too, and the reps are like, oh, that's just a rumor, and I'm like, well, there's someone on my television screen playing Dorothy, so it's not just a rumor. It's either true or it's not true. Well, like, this is happening. This would be so, and that's what makes me think as a reporter. But I'm not gonna fucking run it if it's being like denied. If someone that's just my rule as a reporter. By the way, if somebody's like issuing a denial, straight up, it's tough for me to run something.
That's fair, right? At least you respect that when you do that. So but I think it's about that they don't want to tip their hand, because if it's the lead of Matilda and the lead of Abigail, they're not going to bring her in to do 2 scenes. She's going to be a bigger role. So I don't think they want to admit that just yet, because then people will be like, well, are they spinning off the Wizard of Oz from Wicked to do the Wizard of Oz movie? Are they going to do a remake? And that'll overshadow Wicked Part 2.
Part of me wonders if she even got Abigail, which came out last spring, because they already knew she's in Wicked. Right? It's like, well, if this is our Dorothy, let's start putting her in some stuff and building her up.
It's good points. It's a good point. Well, she did a good job, so clearly they felt something was.
You were an Abigail fan. I mean, I guess she did a good job as that. She wasn't bad, but like,
I saw the scenes. I didn't.
The movie itself was not
right. Right. I thought she was damn good in what she did, but I wasn't like I didn't see the whole movie. I just saw scenes.
We can move on. I know that wasn't on your lineup, and you like to stick to the lineup.
No. I don't mind veering off if it's something fun. You know that. This might not be so fun though, Jeff. Let's talk about this. People hate us for talking about this guy, but we got to talk about it. James Gunn was in Entertainment Weekly this week doing a massive interview talking about the state of DC and where it's going, and also talking, of course, about Superman. And we'll talk about the new trailer in a little bit. But like this, basically was giving us all the updates on what's going on, his approach to Superman. And what he wants to do with DC, and basically admitted, and you wrote about this in your newsletter this week, and people should subscribe to it at theinsider.com, about the Wonder Woman news, that Wonder Woman movie is in the works. He said the Batman 2 script, he still hasn't gotten it somehow, and that the Justice League is something for the future, but not right now. And the people in this movie are just the Justice Gang, not the Justice League. So tell me what your thoughts are on everything he said here about Wonder Woman, about the Batman Part 2, about Superman and the Justice League, and where he's going, and saying that the sequel to Superman, if he gets to do it, will be a sequel of sorts, but not a direct sequel, which is basically teasing World's Finest. What are your thoughts here?
I mean, World's Finest, Justice League of America, Justice Society of Long Beach. I don't know.
Not the
I don't know all the things, but yeah, it seems clear that he's doing some sort of Batman Superman team up, because that is what moves. That is what grosses $1 billion and $2 billion, right? When you have
of course,
massive superheroes teamed up in one movie.
Right.
Wonder Woman, yeah, it's like, what are we wasting time with fucking Clayface and Sergeant Rock for? Like, let's bring out the big dogs. So it's nice to see that he acknowledged that is in the works and that the script is being written. I assume unless he's referring all to the same project, right?
Right.
You know, like, is the Wonder Woman movie that's being written just the movie that he's writing?
Yeah. Oh, good question. Is the Wonder Woman movie he's written? Right, is just the one he's writing? Yeah, that's a good point. Is he going to be?
It totally could be. Yeah.
So
it could be a movie where all three of the characters are in one movie, or there could be actually be he didn't really specify it's a solo Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah. Good point.
It's a movie featuring Wonder Woman. You know, I guess they're two different things. Yeah. But we have no. I don't know. And someone asked me too if I knew. Like who's doing the Wonder Woman movie? I don't.
You don't know who's doing it. No, we're both okay. Yeah, this is something that I thought it was nice to say it's in the works. Clearly, some people put out like, does this mean Gal Gadot might come back? Come on, stop it.
No, absolutely not happening.
I saw some people clamoring for Ana de Armas, and I'm like, I don't think that's happening either. So, who
tough
do you
timing?
Yeah. I know exactly the time now. So, but I mean, I don't think he would have mentioned this if he didn't want it out there for people to start considering it, or he's been looking at it for a bit. That's the place that I'm in about it. Do you think we'll get some news soon? I mean, Supergirl's about to. I mean, they're not doing a panel at Hall H now. Apparently, it's just going to be for the TV stuff. They're not going to go there for the film stuff. So. Is this buying themselves some time? Like we talked about it last week, buying the Wonder Woman stuff. Why wouldn't you announce Wonder Woman at Hall H? Why wouldn't you talk about all this stuff? So it seems like he's just kind of keeping it close to the vest for now. Doesn't it seem that way?
Yes. And that's Gunn's thing that he liked to say, at least after maybe learning his lesson with the big press day in which we announced 10 movies and 2 of them get made.
Right.
Maybe he's like, well, we only want to even talk about movies that we know that we're making.
Yeah.
So yeah, he buys himself some time by saying, hey, it's in the works. It's being written. Like, relax. We're on it. I have no idea if this is something he plans to put into production next year and release in 2027.
Right.
Or when the movie that he's writing is being planned for, although probably 2028.
Yeah.
So what does DC look like? I guess Clayface is lined up for next year, right?
Yes,
so
Clayface is
and I think Dynamic Duo is 2028. So I don't know what they have planned for 2027, or if they can, get something else, out there. Well, and Supergirl's next year too.
Right. Supergirl. That's right. Exactly. That's also there. Oh, Jeff. Oh, all right. Jeff ticked out there. I have to pull that down. All right. So it doesn't look weird. Yeah, that's the thing I'm trying to avoid here. I don't know what happened, Jeff. We lost Jeff, ladies and gentlemen, or did we lose me? Can you guys still see me? Oh, there he is. He's back. What's going on with us today, man?
I don't know, bro. I mean, my internet sucked yesterday. It was in and out all day.
I think it's the heat. I think it's the heat.
I think it's the riots.
Oh no! Don't start. Don't start.
It's the riots, John.
You mean the protests? Come on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You say correctly, sir. What about what he said about the Batman? He still doesn't have the full script. Is this all? What is this, Jeff? What is this? Come on.
Still waiting on that script.
Come on.
I mean,
I'll have it in 2 weeks.
Yeah. What do you want me to say at this point? Again, is this a movie that DC has to sign off on? Like, I know it's a DC movie, but like, isn't he just making it for DeLuca and Abdi?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
like he made the first movie.
Yeah, I guess so. That's a good point. Yeah,
I guess he didn't make it for them. They were probably still at Amazon MGM then.
Well, what about the idea of? Well, I mean, bringing Superman and Batman together. Doesn't it feel like you're hitting the same beats as exactly what Sneider did? If he's implying that he's going to essentially do a world's finest,
maybe those are the beats that you got to hit, though. I mean, that's just part of it.
Yeah.
You know.
Not trying to
Zack Snyder did Superman, then followed it with Justice League and Batman vs Superman.
Yeah.
Well, that they weren't very good though. That's the difference.
Well, yeah, BBS was not good, but his Justice League I liked, but yes, it didn't. Obviously, the
Snyder Cut was better than what was released.
Yeah, fair. What about the new trailer? What did you think of the Superman trailer? The new Superman trailer that dropped, we got to see more footage. We got to see Superman using his powers. We got to see some weird baby in the trailer as well. More of the kaiju. We had people's teeth hitting the camera lens. And Lois flying a Kryptonian ship, I think. What were your thoughts on this trailer, Jeff? Did this do it for you? A lot of people seem to be really happy about this trailer, who are maybe slightly skeptical. Were you wowed by this trailer at all?
I mean, I think it was probably the best, not the best trailer, but it certainly showed the most. Like, I like that opening teaser a lot. It showed us more of Luthor. It was definitely more revealing, and which is only natural as they get closer to the release date.
Yeah.
Do I think it looked great? No. And that's just like a thing with Superman with me, and I think the American public. That's why these movies have never grossed $1 billion. There's something about the earnestness of the character that I think is just a little old fashioned, and James Gunn is entitled to think that is what we need right now.
Right.
But I think if you're asking me to bet on like that, or if Joaquin Phoenix's Joker movie came out, a month later and we'd never seen it before, I'd bet on Joker. I like darker stuff though. So there were just moments of this trailer where it was just like, and I'll get you, Superman, and your pretty dog too,
So it didn't necessarily get you excited to see this thing, is what you're saying.
I mean, I have my tickets, I'm looking forward to seeing it, but it's more out of a curiosity than like, fuck yeah, this is gonna be fucking great.
Right. Of course. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I'm skeptical. What do you want from me?
Yeah. That's a fair point. I thought the trailer was good. I liked it a lot. I didn't like the teeth thing. I thought that was ridiculous, but that's part of the James Gunn humor, so you're going to have some of that. Not every joke in Guardians of the Galaxy worked for me in any of the movies. But I thought overall those were good. So I'm hoping this has got that, but I can't deny some of the CG looks a little weird. Some of the energy is like, a little gosh darn it. And I don't know necessarily that I'm 100% on board, but I certainly think out of the trailer, I came out a little more excited to see the movie. So we will see what the end result is going to be. But I mean, this is doing well. It's sold out. The first day tickets apparently was the highest or the quickest.
I told you, I said it was going to do well. I think people are saying 160 right now, but I'll take the over and I'll go closer to 175.
Yeah, I think you're right on that one. It goes that way. Maybe even, honestly, it might go to if people are really excited about it and the word of mouth spreads, people going multiple times. 200 is a real possibility, man, which is why I don't understand why they're not released on July 4th. I mean, that seems like the perfect time to release that movie. Why wait a week?
It was. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, because a lot of people also are like, well, it's July 4th. I want to be outside watching fireworks and going to a barbecue. I'm not thinking about spending my day at the movies.
Yeah, but Will Smith used to own that weekend. Remember back in the '90s. So I think,
Sure. You know,
Jurassic World's coming out that weekend.
yeah, that's why it's not coming out the 4th. But you're right; it could have staked out that date earlier.
Yeah, because people already think of Superman as an American hero, no matter what they try to move it around or change it and all that kind of thing. See, he is an American hero, so I would imagine July 4th would have been better. But I get it; you want to stay away from Jurassic World for a week. What about this? What about this trailer, Jeff? What do you think of this Eddington trailer here with Pedro Pascal and Joaquin Phoenix from Ari Aster, A24? What do you think of this thing?
I thought it looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's going to be divisive, but I think
Right.
it looks good, and I am excited to see it. It also, you know, it just like I said, Knives Out did. The trailer sort of cribbed from Sinners a little bit, or had a little Sinners flavor to it. So did this one. I mean, ending with the machine gun.
Yes. Oh my God.
Just like, you know, Michael B. kind of in the Sinners trailer. So, but yeah, I think it's going to be pretty gnarly. I mean, I heard, you know, it takes a pretty hard turn in the third act and just becomes like a shoot 'em up kind of.
It looks that way in the trailer. It looks like it gets pretty scary at the end there. And this is a COVID movie in essence. And dude, this feels like as topical as Andor season 2 seems to feel like right now, this feels even more topical in the conversation, and this idea of, you know, people looking at people who are in charge or political figures and going, you know what, I used to think you guys were these untouchable things, and I realized I can be just as, and I can achieve the things you've achieved because I think you're wrong in how you're doing it. So this is an interesting film that I think is going to cause a lot of conversations for sure. Hey, whoa, easy, man, easy. Don't show the abs all at once.
The abs. You got to lose 10 pounds. You got to tell me the secrets.
The secrets are simple. Don't eat. Eat lean meat, 6 to 8 ounces, 2 cups of vegetables for lunch and dinner, and then every 2 hours a protein shake or a protein bar. That's it. It's not that difficult. 2 eggs in the morning.
You just described hell for me.
I used to feel that way as well.
Protein shakes.
You get used to it.
Reggie Brown, who are you? I mean, Jeff called me a liar last week. I don't like that. Who are you, Reggie Brown?
Who's Reggie Brown?
He's up in the comments section.
Oh. Dude. Reggie, who are you? What do he call you a liar about? You might be lying.
Exactly. What am I saying you're lying about, Reggie? Because your name doesn't sound familiar, so it sounds like you could be one of these alias people.
Yeah, you might have been lying.
Wait, let's talk about Ballerina.
All right, let's talk about it. Let's talk about both of these, Ballerina and Thunderbolts. Both now, it seems like, underperforming at the box office. Certainly, Thunderbolts isn't going to isn't going to break even at all. I think it's stuck at 370 something. It's supposed to make 425. It's not going to get there. And Ballerina seems like it's heading for a real big dip in its second weekend and underperformed in its first weekend, Jeff. So what are the lessons here? What do you take away from this stuff? What are your feelings on it?
I mean, where do you want to start with Thunderbolts? Yeah, the movie got good reviews, but as David Poland was saying on his video today, good reviews have never sold a single ticket in the history of Marvel ever. Well, that is a quote. That's a quote from David Poland today, and I completely agree with it. Okay. You're either into these movies or you're not. Right. People weren't, you know, Marvel had all these hits because they did a meticulous job of setting up the universe and introducing these characters. And they, you know, but I know, we've seen the characters from Thunderbolts before, but never really together. Yeah. I think people just weren't interested in seeing this group. And as much as the critics can be like, oh, you know, because all the critics we all have our own issues. Right? Oh my God! Mental health. This is the greatest movie ever. Yeah. You know what? The general public is not looking for a lesson in mental health. Okay, they just want to turn their brains off. And you know, Thunderbolts, to its credit, you know, didn't necessarily do that. It was doing something a little bit more interesting. So that's why I think it flopped. It's also right in the tail end of like a cold streak that Marvel has been on. Yeah. Yeah, things will hopefully turn around with Fantastic Four, and I think Marvel, you know, is redoing its approach, having learned some stuff from these last few flops.
Well, I like what the Variety article said about this, where it was like Bob Iger was trumpeting this film as the new way forward for Marvel, and then the film absolutely tanks at the or not.
Sounds like David Zaslav tub thumping the Flash, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
That's what happens. It's almost like, listen, we know we have a real big bomb on our hands. Let's get the CEO of the company out there. Like, let's resort to that because he could shift things given the coverage of whatever he says.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's you can't compare the thing about the article though that I take exception with is that you can't compare apples and oranges. You can't compare because I don't know if Guardians of the Galaxy would fly today at the numbers that it flew at back then because Marvel was still new. It was still a new toy for us to play with. We were still excited about what was in the different boxes. But now Marvel is like a video game that we just play and we've played multiple times and won at multiple times. It doesn't mean you can't still enjoy it, but you got to create some new DLC content that really excites me because I already know what you can do with the game. So that's what it feels like now. And I think Thunderbolts got stuck in that place of after all these disappointments coming in, and it's a well-reviewed movie. I think it's a good movie. People just weren't interested in these characters, didn't know these characters that well, and weren't ready to make them put their money down to go see them as leads in a movie. And it's an interesting situation and they're going to be back in Secret War. So I wonder if the box office indicates how much they're in the movie versus how they were originally going to be in the movie. I wonder if that's an issue as well.
Yeah. And then you have, Ballerina.
Yeah.
Which again, is an original R-rated action movie featuring a character you've never seen before.
Right.
Unlike the Avengers, who, their movies, anyways.
Sure.
It was very, Keanu Reeves was sort of just awkwardly shoehorned into the movie. And I think people could pick up on that.
Right.
I don't think that the action sequences were anything revolutionary, even though I do think that the flamethrower battle was pretty memorable.
I thought the grenade sequence was amazing as well. But
I mean, listen, this movie had its moments if you're an action junkie, but at the end of the day, I just didn't care about these characters. I didn't care about Eve Macaro.
Yeah.
And my tweet was misread afterwards as far as Speed and Face Off and Con Air, but those had juicy hooks and plots and characters and villains and this was just that's the Chancellor, Gabriel Byrne. Yeah, the Chancellor. Yeah. They've had an old pact, an ancient pact. And here are it's just 1,000 dudes. It's the same 87 North and 8711 stuntmen who just parade in front of the camera to get killed dozens at a time. I don't have nothing against her, but I didn't think she was very good in this movie.
I don't disagree with you. It's not that I didn't think she. How can I say this? I thought she was good, and then I thought she wasn't good, depending on the scene. There were some scenes where she was invested, and some scenes where she was really. I'm very upset about this, and it's what's the thing? To me, it became. She's too emotional. I don't want to say that. People think a stereotype on that. I just mean there were times where it felt like this is supposed to be this hard-edged, brutal killer, an assassin. Yet there were so many moments where it seemed like she was lost in her emotions about everything that was going on. Right. And so it got to be confusing. Are you angry because your father has been killed and you want revenge? Or are you an unsure person who doesn't know if they can accomplish this thing? And then I need to see more of that so I can be cheering you on from a place of you overcoming these things. And I didn't sense that from the movie at all. It's just a simple revenge film that you can watch on a Saturday afternoon.
I just didn't buy it. I didn't buy it. It was too long. Listen, it's just like every other fucking. It was a disappointment. But so I got a DM from someone, a fan of the show, who may be watching right now.
Okay.
And they kind of came at me, and they were nice about it at first, but then it became I've noticed something that you because I was. It's not that I was rooting against Ballerina because I didn't say anything in the run up to its release.
Right.
I wasn't shit talking Ballerina in the run up to its release. I saw it as a paying customer and was disappointed. And I just feel like as an industry reporter, that is not how I want to see Lionsgate spend its $100 million.
Okay.
I think if there are better ways to invest that money, and this is, the box office fate that it suffered. Not that it got clobbered. It wasn't an epic bomb or flop.
No. It just underperformed.
It underperformed. And I think, there's a lesson for Lionsgate in that. Not everything is a universe, and I mean, I'd be hard pressed to assume that they're going to spend $100 million on that Kane movie with Donnie Yen. I don't care if Donnie Yen is an international, superstar action guy. He's not Ana de Armas either.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're going to make that movie, you have to keep it to 40 to 60. You can't do 90 to 100. And again, maybe the budget on Ballerina is so high because they had to reshoot the whole thing, basically.
Yeah.
So you can't put that on her. You can't put the script on her. I think the script is just a poor script. You can only act so good when you have shitty lines to say.
The same guy who wrote the Rebel Moon movies, and those aren't really going to win any awards for writing.
Yeah. So but so she was. So this viewer of ours was like, you were rooting against Ana de Armas to fail. You're rooting against Rachel Zegler. You hate Melissa Barrera. You have a problem with Latinas.
Oh no!
And I'm not calling you racist, but I'm calling you like a sadist, or it was something. It made no sense. All due respect. And I tried to have a conversation. I mean, obviously, I was defensive because
you like J-Lo.
I'm just like, it's such bullshit. Like, okay, even if I didn't like any three of those, there's a lot of Latina actresses now these days.
Yeah.
There are 3 white actresses I don't like too. I don't think Melissa Barrera is a good actress. Rachel Zegler was great in West Side Story. I didn't see Hunger Games. I didn't see Snow White. So she's starring in movies that don't appeal to me, number 1, and she's annoying online, number 2. She comes off as just entitled and obnoxious. And 3, Ana de Armas, no problem with Ana de Armas, just didn't like Ballerina. And so that combination on the slot, you pull the wheel, didn't like Ballerina, think Rachel Zegler's annoying, and you can't stand Melissa Barrera, you're a racist.
Yeah, that's nonsense. If anybody would have noticed that you have a thing for Latinas, it would have been me. I would have been first in line. This is someone who's just fabricating stuff out of thin air because they're cherry picking certain things in order to have a narrative.
Want to see. That's what I was so amazed by with the whole interaction, where it's like you're not wrong, but like the spin that you're putting on it is just like such like a negative spin when I'm just being honest. There's nothing ill intention behind it.
Yeah, no. We talk about so many actors and actresses on this show that we like or don't like, or performances that we like or don't like. To nitpick certain ones in order to fit a narrative, I think is disrespectful and irresponsible to do, because you're not really looking at it with the proper perspective. You're looking at it from a narrow point of view. And as you said, you liked Rachel in West Side Story, but but you find her annoying as a social media presence. That's got nothing to do with her as an actress. It's got nothing to do with her as a performer. So that's a separate issue you throw out the window. The Melissa Barrera thing, I think there's a lot of people who don't think she's that great of an actress. So that's not going out on a limb in any way, shape, or form. I'm sure you like J-Lo. You liked her in Hustlers. So I mean, there's little things like that you look at and you go, it's way out of whack. And Ana de Armas, it wasn't about cheering against her in the movie. It's about the movie itself.
Exactly. The movie is product, it's content. John.
Yeah. I mean, you can absolutely say Ana de Armas did not put butts in seats, and that doesn't mean you hate Ana de Armas as an actress. You got to look at the thing. The Len Weissman situation was an issue. The fact that they kept moving the release date, the multiple reshoots, and then the social media drama about who can comment on the film and who can't. All of that just sank the film. That's got nothing to do with Ana de Armas, So,
well, anyways, I appreciate her writing. I just strongly disagreed with the thesis behind her message.
Yeah, I think it's unfortunate to see that kind of stuff, because it's like you got to be honest and look at it in the proper context.
I give shit to everybody gets equal shit. Doesn't matter what color you are. Doesn't matter who you're sleeping with. I'm pretty fair.
I would agree with that. I wouldn't do a show with you if you weren't, for sure. All right, so let's see. Is that all the trailer stuff we need to talk? Is there anything else that popped out this week for you, trailers wise, that you enjoyed seeing? You dropped Lurker last week.
Lurker. Geez, what? I forget what all the trailers were this week.
Well, it's probably some stuff you don't see, which is the Star Trek trailer. What was the other trailers that we?
We got a trailer for The Lost Bus, right?
Oh yeah, the Matthew McConaughey one.
I think that could be a potential Oscar contender.
What?
What are you letting?
Okay.
It's Paul Greengrass taking on a true story. Ever heard of United 93 or Sunday Bloody Sunday?
United 93, and
What's
both
Bloody
of them
Sunday?
are some of my favorite films. Sunday Bloody
Yeah.
Sunday. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
just Bloody Sunday. Sorry,
Okay.
I was thinking of the U2 song.
Oh yeah, right. Bloody Sunday with
July, 22 July.
James Nesbitt. 71, the one with Jack O'Connell, the Irish, Northern Irish.
That's not Paul Greengrass.
No, but I'm just saying that's a one that you can see that's based on a true story as well. So
sure.
What about Ironheart? Did you watch any of that? No. Oh, what about Ballard? I got the first 10 episodes or the 10 episodes in my screeners list. Lindley is out. The Lady Outlaw is out. She's a huge Bosch fan. I showed her the trailer. She's out. I'm in though. I kind of like Maggie. I like Maggie Q, so I want to see where this goes. But did this feel like it wasn't quite Bosch level? What do you think?
I don't know what Bosch level is. I didn't watch Bosch.
Oh, you didn't watch Bosch? Oh,
no, I didn't watch.
That is your show. You should totally watch Bosch. He's Boston, man.
It's a lot of show too. I feel like it's like 7 or 8 seasons.
It is.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It goes quick.
Yeah. I did see the trailer for Ballard, and it actually looked okay. But then I reminded myself, and I was like, "This is a Bosch spinoff, Jeff. You don't have time for spinoffs of shows you didn't watch, and it's a Maggie Q series. Like, okay, I can like Maggie Q in something, but I'm not going to sit there and watch an entire series led by Maggie Q." I'm sorry.
All right, fine. I think it looked good, so I'm probably going to watch it this weekend. I like the Bosch world. Those are like put them on and just hang out for 3 or 4 hours and watch a bunch of episodes. I enjoy them. They're such an easy watch. I can be on my phone. I can do other things. It's great.
I'm gonna watch the Reacher spinoff when that girl gets one.
Oh yeah. That looks good. They were shooting at a Cubs game or something recently.
What's the character's name? I think the actress is Maria Sten, right?
Yeah. That's a good. Yeah, right.
What's
Maria
her name,
Sten.
though?
What is her name in the show?
It's like an old. It's an old.
What?
Nagley. Yeah, Nagley.
Yeah, Frances Neagley.
Francis. That's I said. It's an old person name.
Yeah, Frances. Neagley.
Francis. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, it's in motion. It's going to be called Neagley, and it got ordered last October. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
She's good on Reacher.
Oh yeah, I like her on Reacher as well. Let's see what else we got going. Oh, did we talk about this last week? Mia Goth in Star Wars Starfighter, and I don't think we did. So
I don't think we did, John. I don't think we did.
What do you want to say about it? You like it? Do you think it's good? What do you think?
I do like it. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't the one to put it out there, but
no,
since it is out there that she's going to be the villain, I think THR made that pretty clear.
Yes,
yeah, I think she's going to make a pretty cool fucking Star Wars villain.
So tell me about this. Like, this is an interesting move for her, right? I mean, because we just had Mikey Madison turn this down, and you could argue that both of them are pretty comparable as actresses, Jeff. So clearly, this is a situation where maybe one, because they had an Oscar, asked for a little bit more, and the other one came in as like happy to do it at whatever pay was being offered, or maybe negotiate slightly higher for herself. But this also speaks to the kind of actor that's being attracted to this movie, right? And I think you've got Mia Goth, who is in a recent interview saying, "I'm not a Harry Potter person. I'm not a Twilight person, though I enjoyed the movies, and I'm not a Lord of the Rings person. So this is not someone who runs to do big franchise movies." So the fact that she's going to be part of this is a great next step with the Odyssey and these other films that she has coming out, Frankenstein, Blade. This is a good move.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's a decent payday. I don't think that she got what Mikey Madison was asking for.
No.
Mikey has an Oscar.
Has an Oscar. Right?
I just think that she's probably more right for the role. Like, this is what I've always believed as someone who's covers casting as long as I have. Like,
right.
Things happen for a reason, and typically the right actor, winds up with the role. When I think of who would I rather have as a villain in a Star Wars movie? Forget who was offered it first.
Right.
Would I rather have Mia Goth, or would I rather have Oscar winner Mikey Madison? I think I'd rather have Mia Goth.
Yeah.
Right. So it's hard to be upset with that. I think she's also like a better fit for like a foe against Gosling too.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like
yeah.
And she's going to be hot off the Odyssey. I like this hire a lot.
Yeah, and you said, I think you reported that Ryan Gosling is going to be. Well, I think we talked about it on the show. That he's going to be taking care of a young ward, and it could be leading into the Ray movie. Does that sound right to you as well? That it could be him delivering the nephew that he's taking care of to Ray's school? Because that's what people are speculating this week. Does that pass your smell test?
I mean, I can ask, but no. The sense that I got from this is that this is like largely a standalone. Although, if it was entirely a standalone and then at the very end there was a connection,
yeah, that's what I mean.
I see how someone could still call it a standalone movie.
Right,
you know?
right. Yeah, right. It was right at the end. All right. Okay. So that's a good thing. We'll see what happens. What are your thoughts on this? Robert Eggers is doing a Christmas Carol movie with Willem Dafoe. I'm assuming there'll be no Muppets in this one, Jeff. So what are your thoughts on Willem Dafoe as Ebenezer Scrooge?
Oh, we definitely needed another Christmas Carol movie because we didn't get enough of those. I don't know what the obsession is with this story. I'm Willem Dafoe is a great actor and he'll make a good Scrooge, and I'm sure Eggers will put his own interesting spin on this material, and it'll be a hit with genre audiences. But did this announcement leave me jazzed? No.
Yeah. I can see it from the Willem Dafoe point of view. This is a great challenge for an actor as you're older, playing Ebenezer, playing the mean. I mean, he can certainly play a mean miser, and then having this transformation through the movie, and certainly doing it through Robert Eggers' particular lens and point of view with a story like this, like he did with that Nosferatu remake, which I loved. He got some really good stuff out of Willem, just like he did in the North one, which I thought was fantastic as well. So I like this idea. I like them coming together. Although coming on the heels of Nosferatu, I don't know. I don't think it did that well at the box office. So what's the logic here? Who's funding this?
Nosferatu did pretty well.
Did? Okay.
Yeah, all things considered. Yeah, I think that's why Warner Brothers probably had its eye on him. I mean, he is an auteur director too.
For sure, I love it.
Doesn't really matter what he does. He will have some people who turn up just based on his name. Yeah, just again a Christmas Carol it wouldn't really matter if Quentin Tarantino was doing it or Nolan. I wouldn't be that excited. I feel like I've seen this story countless times.
Fair point. And yes, just to correct myself, because I was off base, it made $181 million globally, Nosferatu, and got 4 Oscar nominations. So yeah, that's for sure. I loved the movie, but I didn't see that too many people had it on their best of list.
I didn't care for it.
Yeah.
To me, The Northman is still the best thing he's done.
I do love The Northman. I'm not going to lie to you there. All right, let me take down the Spaceballs story and other stories. I want to get to the Incredibles here, Jeff. Let's get to this. This is happening, but it is not under Brad Bird. The Incredibles 3 will not be directed by Brad Bird. It'll be directed by Peter Sohn, who did The Good Dinosaur and then recently did Elemental, that initially looked like it was going to be a box office bomb, but it ended up legging out almost a $500 million take globally. So this is an interesting decision. What does this tell you that it's Brad Bird not directing, it's Peter Sohn directing it? What does this tell you about Incredibles 3, even though Peter Sohn worked under Brad Bird for a long time?
Tells me Brad Bird was just busy, creating the next Incredibles, if you will, which is Ray Gunn, right? That's He just has, other commitments that are pulling him away from it. And so he handpicked Peter Sohn, right? He was his mentor, basically, Brad Bird. And I think that Pixar is pretty much a well-oiled machine at this point that kind of runs itself, and there's a brain trust. And I mean, Brad Bird's he's still writing the script and he's producing, so he's going to be pretty heavily involved. He just won't be there to oversee the day-to-day, and he's leaving that in capable hands.
I'm going to talk about it, and maybe I'll get in trouble for this, but I want to talk about it because, I think Peter Sohn is an incredibly talented person. However, he is connected to The Good Dinosaur, which was not good. He is the voice of Socks in the Lightyear film, which was very poorly received.
And that's your fault, Peter Sohn.
I'm not saying it's fault. I'm just saying he was great as Socks, but people didn't. And then the other side of it is, and then Elemental, which was initially looked at as possibly being a bomb, didn't get that much hype, and then eventually did make its money. So is this a guy who's just a little snake bit? And so this is an opportunity to maybe get a big W, like the people there want him to get a W, and this is a good situation because he's certainly very talented, competent director. It's just that the end results haven't always been 100% great.
I mean, I don't know why he was chosen over others. You know, maybe other people were busy with other projects.
Maybe.
Like, you know, it's clear that he earned the opportunity and deserved a chance. And that this movie is well positioned for success, whether Brad Bird directs it or not.
Yeah, fair point. All right. Let's move on to something a little more gangster. That's Snoop Dogg. How about this, man? Jonathan Davis, with 2 S's, is going to star as Snoop Dogg in Universal's Craig Brewer directed biopic of Snoop Dogg. It's going to be produced by Snoop Dogg, Brian Grazer, and Death Row Pictures president Sarah Remick. Oh, poor Brian Grazer, who had to, it was almost canceled in Hollywood. He's now apparently producing this film, Jeff. So what are your thoughts on this casting? Do you like this guy? Does he look like him? He was in Outer Banks, which I've never seen. He's also started Netflix's Do Revenge opposite Sophie Turner and Maya Hawke and Austin Abrams, and was in Age of Summer and Edge of the World. So I don't think I've seen anything from him. What do you think of this combo of Craig Brewer directing this film and Jonathan Davis in here as Snoop Doggy Dogg?
Faux shizzle, I like it.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
This project shizzles my nizzle.
Nope. We're not doing that.
I love Snoop Dogg. He's
Yes.
the fucking man. He's I don't know if I want to call him my favorite rapper of all time, but he might be.
A lot of people
I know people are like, that's crazy. What about Nas and like all these other people? Like, like that's great for Nas and everything.
Kendrick,
but like, I grew up in the 90s. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, Nas was the 90s.
That
as well.
was 90s, yeah. Street dreams.
But like Snoop Dogg, Doggy Style, that was the shit. Like Gin and Juice, Murder Was the Case.
Yeah.
Jesus and Hustlers is my song.
Oh, yeah.
I can do the whole song, and I am good at bleeping out the N words too.
Good. I'm glad you're good at bleeping that.
I know where all of them are. I know all of the speed bumps in the road there, and I know to just you don't even mouth it. So yeah, G's and Hustlers I'm great at it. You should see me at karaoke. So I love Snoop Dogg. I love that he's getting a biopic. I've never heard of this kid Jonathan Davis. I mean, I've heard of him, but like I've never seen his work. I didn't see Outer Banks. I mean, he's a skinny black guy. So yes, he can play Snoop.
But he looks like him too. He looks like him. Like he's got a little bit of that kind of smirking,
little mischief in his eye. Yeah, I can see it. And that's what I was getting at, though, John. It's like we gotta have the mischief. We gotta have troublemaker Snoop. We gotta have. I mean, this guy was a part of a huge murder trial, wasn't he? In the 90s?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know if this movie is going to delve into that stuff because he's a producer on it, Snoop, and I don't want him to like whitewash his whole life. I think that is a very real part of it. But if it was a warts and all biopic, like fucking Snoop Dogg lived a life, man. I love how entrepreneurial he's become. He's a good actor. He's a good actor. I like him as an actor.
Sure.
Did you see the Benchwarmers?
No, I did not see the Benchwarmers, Jeff.
Was it the Benchwarmers?
Yeah, you can't.
No, it was the Underdogs.
The Underdogs. That's it. Yeah. The Benchwarmers is the Rob Schneider one.
That's the David Spade movie, yeah. The Underdogs was good. I like the Underdogs. I like him in Starsky and Hutch. I like him in Training Day. I like smoking his weed. So I have no beef with Snoop Dogg. He's the man. Just like don't just whitewash it
or blackwash. The show absolutely does love Snoop Dogg, but I agree with you. I want a warts and all biopic because that's what frustrated me about Straight Outta Compton. I mean, you're watching that movie. Look, it's a damn good movie for that version of NWA. But I mean, like the real NWA, there was stuff that went on in each of their lives that they didn't even touch on or explore. It's like doing a Notorious B.I.G. biopic and don't show him selling drugs. Like, this is the thing. You've got to show all the stuff that these guys did so that we can see what they achieved and what they overcame and all that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, when you have the person producing it, look, we said this about Madonna. We said this about other people who were producing their own biopics. Like, you're not going to see the more unsavory stuff. So if Snoop had the guts to actually do it that way, that would be awesome. I think that would be awesome. And I think Snoop's the kind of guy that could and get away with it because people just love Snoop. Even when he does stuff that people might politically not like, he's tough. He's Teflon, man. People love Snoop. They get over it.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that one. It's from Brian Grazer, who did 8 Mile and did Straight Outta Compton, which may have brushed over certain things or glossed over them, but I thought that was a really good movie, Straight Outta Compton.
I thought so too.
And that's all I can ask of Snoop. So
Speaking of Straight Outta Compton, Corey Hawkins was in the most recent episode of Poker Face. I thought it was damn good. That was a good episode. Him and Sam Richardson. That was a damn good
That's
episode.
the Heat episode.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yes. I thought of you near the end as we were watching it.
Wasn't it awesome with the music and the fonts and just everything?
Yeah. Lady Outlaw looked at me. She's like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "It's Heat, man. They're making Heat references."
Super clever.
Yeah, it was smart. All right, let's see what else have we got here. Oh yeah, this is one you talked about in your newsletter. Ben Stiller is directing a Twilight Zone movie. What is this all about, Jeff? What can you tell us about this situation? Is he the right choice? Why is he looking at a Twilight Zone movie? Didn't Jordan Peele do this as a TV series, and now he's going to do a movie of it? What are your thoughts on this?
Well, folks did reach out today and ahead of this episode to sort of clarify. He is producing it with Leo, and he is developing it to direct. He does not have a deal in place to direct, but he is developing it to direct it. And there's no script right now, and that's what I said in the story. It's in early development. He's been on this project for a while, and they're looking for a writer. And, he's going to work closely with that writer, as I'm sure Leo will as well.
Yeah.
Given how long, Leo's company has been on that project. They've been developing for 15 years.
Wow.
But yeah, they'll identify a writer, hire the writer. That person will turn in a script that Ben will develop with Leo. And if all goes well, Ben will direct it down the line, right? It's not going to be his next movie. There's a bunch of things that he has going, including Meet the Parents 4, including season 3 of Severance. Yeah. So this is still a little down the line. Yeah. That said, yes, I think he's a great choice for it. Yeah. I could even see him doing the Rod Serling, and being like the narrator as well. I mean, it doesn't mean he necessarily is going to, but I could see it. But yeah, with what he's done with Severance, and I loved like Escape at Dannemora, which won him a DGA award.
Yes,
I'm the Cable Guy is one of those movies that as a 12-year-old, I was like, this is weird. This is not what I was expecting from Jim Carrey. And only on subsequent viewings as I got older did I appreciate the brilliance of the Cable Guy. Zoolander is still great. Like Ben Stiller's a fucking good director, is what I'm saying.
I think Cable Guy may be my favorite film of his directional, and I loved it when it came out. Because that came out when I was in my 20s. So I was older than you, Jeff.
Funny, I thought you were 40 when Cable Guy came out.
What? I'm going to kick you in the face next time I see you. But like, I didn't understand why people didn't like the movie, because it was making a very strong commentary on our addiction to reality TV shows and how we perceive people and judge them. Like, there was so much about it. And the Jack Black stuff was hilarious. Obviously, the Jim Carrey stuff was great. And the whole thing with the family, I thought, was just genius, and it ended in a really sweet moment that also had a laugh to it. So I'm always surprised at people who didn't like Cable Guy, because I think it was probably a comedy ahead of its time, in its genius. But I mean, maybe Tropic Thunder is my favorite. I guess Tropic Thunder is my favorite, but I do love the Cable Guy. It's probably my second favorite film.
I didn't even mention Tropic Thunder. Dude, fucking Ben Stiller has put out some bangers as a director. Yeah. And this may be like his biggest movie in some ways, if he does, in fact, wind up directing, which is, I think that's why you sign on to produce this movie.
Dude, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, that is a quietly damn good remake. That is, people don't give it enough credit. I enjoyed that film a lot. Actually, Reality Bites is the one that I don't like the most out of his resume. It's so annoying, that film. It's so pretentious. Ethan Hawke with his dog-eared book of poetry in his back pocket. Ugh, annoying.
Yeah, let's see what the approach is, right? I don't think it's going to be an anthology. I just think, look at the blockbusters of the last 30, 40 years. There are no anthologies. Right. It'll probably be one story. And...
Well, do you think it's a remake of a story from the numerous seasons?
It could be. It could be, or it could be something that a universe that incorporates several of those stories, right? I think that there can be different twists and turns here.
But is it difficult, Jeff? Black Mirror is essentially like Twilight Zone.
Well, that's the bar these days. I think that you have to do something that's worthy of the big screen.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know. It's a tricky assignment, but Ben Stiller seems like he's up to the challenge.
Agreed. Let's move on to this real quick. Bit of a melancholy tribute here to Harris Yulin, Jeff. Fantastic character actor. You see them there, him in Scarface, Ghostbusters 2, Clear and Present Danger, so many incredible films he was a part of. I even remember him as Wyatt Earp in the Doc Holliday film from the 1970s with Stacy Keach as Doc Holliday and Faye Dunaway. Fantastic actor, man. So what are your thoughts on Yulin passing away? 87, I think it was. So your thoughts on him, and what are your favorite memories of him as an actor?
I mean, I'm just in the tank for The Place Beyond the Pines. And so that was the first thing that came to mind. I was like, oh no, Bradley Cooper's father. And yeah, looking back, it is kind of astounding the career that he's had since Scarface, which where he did stand out. I forgot that he was in like Training Day.
Yes.
But I did remember him from Ozark. He's good on Ozark. I mean, 24. He's been in so much stuff over the years, and he was like a gifted theater actor as well, which I never got to see him live on stage. But yeah, one of those like quietly powerful character actors. In fact, what movie came to mind first?
What's that?
It was Ghostbusters 2.
Oh yeah, as the judge.
He's the judge, and some obits said that he was in Ghostbusters, and I was like, no, it was Ghostbusters 2. I'm a fucking nerd.
That's some young kid. Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks, but he led a full life. He lived to 80 something, as did Brian Wilson.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what you thought on Brian Wilson passing, 82, I think. Yeah.
Again, lived an incredible life. I mean, I saw some tweet that went viral, and it was like saying goodbye to him is like saying goodbye to the sky or the sun. He's just foundational. And yeah, I like the Beach Boys and everything. I love that movie, Love and Mercy. With John Cusack. A crazy life that Brian Wilson led, and he leaves behind a ton of great music.
I think it's for those of us who suffer with mental health, when a famous person goes through it, it's a way of shattering the stigma, and especially someone as beloved and creative as Brian Wilson. And so when you hear the story and you see the stories, you watch the documentaries and you watch the movies that it was based on, like, it's amazing what that can do to kind of help people understand what people go through. And so I love that a lot of the tributes to him this week were from people just saying, I'm glad he's finally found peace. Like, they understand how that battle and how that almost wrecked him in the 70s, coming out of everything he created in the 1960s with the Beach Boys. And we would not have the Beach Boys without Brian Wilson. Brian Wilson was so instrumental. Pet Sounds, that's the album, I think, that either he inspired the Beatles to make Abbey Road, or Abbey Road inspired Pet Sounds. That's the competition he was in, the Beatles. So I mean, it's just like that kind of thing. So it's I'm sad that he's gone, but I'm glad he was able to navigate the stuff that he navigated, and that hopefully he has found peace now as he's moved on. And Harris Yulin's just someone I always love seeing whenever he popped, that gruff voice of his and control of every scene he was in. And it was always nice to cheer for him because he rarely played good guys. It was always like in Hurricane. He's defending, I think, Hurricane. So it's nice when he plays good guys and you can use that voice in that way. One last thing before we get to the questions, Jeff. Rachel Brosnahan is apparently going to be leading Presumed Innocent 2, season 2 of Presumed Innocent on Apple TV. We finished season 1 last week. What an awesome show. I just delayed watching it, and it was incredible, utterly incredible. So I'm excited at Rachel Brosnahan, but Scott Turow is moving. I mean, what are they just going to make up a story here? What's the deal?
No, it's a book that's coming out next summer.
Oh, interesting.
Dissection of a Murder, which I think is about a lawyer defending someone who's accused of like killing a judge or maybe the daughter of a judge or something like that. I love this for her. I think this is exactly the kind of show that she needed to do after Maisel, after Superman, something a little bit more dramatic, a little bit more serious, but also prestige.
Yes.
Did you like the finale for season 1?
I did, actually. And I had seen the Harrison Ford movie. So they
changed it up.
Yeah, they did. When they changed it up, I was shocked. Like, I had thought it was that person like in the second or third episode, but I was like, no, it can't be. And then when it swung back around the way it did, and then they showed the sequence, I was like, damn. So I liked the ending.
I didn't love it, but it wasn't like disclaimer level bad. And again, I thought the rest of the series was incredible. I'm rooting for Jake Gyllenhaal to get an Emmy nomination this year. And Chase Infinity impressed me too.
Which one? Say it again.
Chase Infinity.
The kid, the son.
Yeah. The daughter. The daughter.
Oh, the daughter.
She's Leo's daughter in the PTA movie.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Which I've heard good things about. I heard that's testing well. I still have no idea in my right mind how that movie is going to make its money back.
Yeah.
But I've heard it's good.
I thought Ruth Negga was great as well in the series.
He is good.
And Sarsgaard. Holy crap!
He is always so good.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Oh, and Bill Camp, who I always love.
Both. I mean, Bill Camp is like the premier character actor these days.
Oh, Matt, if you haven't seen it, I'm telling you, I delayed seeing it for a year because I thought all the hype. I'm like, I saw the movie. Why do I need to watch the series? And we were kind of just hunting around for something to watch. And I was like, let's try this, honey. Everyone says it's good. And we started the first episode. We were hooked. We finished it in 2 days, man. It was so amazing.
It's great. It was the watch of last summer.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes I resist stuff because everybody falls all over it. I want to wait till that dies down and then watch it, which is probably not good for a critic, but it is kind of how I am. All right. I think that was everything. So let's get to the questions, Jeff. Are you good? You ready?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to talk about anything in reviews? Anything you want to steer people towards? Life of Chuck comes out this weekend. The Materialists. I think those are the two.
I didn't see Materialists.
Okay.
Haven't seen it. But that Celine Song story.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about that?
That went over big. I mean, shit. I think I may have underestimated how big a director she is online because that story popped off.
Yeah, talk about it. Celine Song, her next project, it was a documentary.
I wish I could tell you the backstory behind it because the backstory is even more interesting. But yeah, she's returning to A24 to direct a series for HBO, write and direct a series that's set in the world of esports. And esports seems like something that has sort of had a moment and then passed us by. But if she had an interesting take, I could see how it would be like almost a US version of Industry.
Yeah. Dude, people are into esports. It has not left. It is still very, very much here. Like I stumbled on it on ESPN the other day, and there's like multiple channels still showing esports stuff. So this is not her catching the tail end of the tiger. This is her riding the wave that's still kind of up there at this point. So hopefully that'll be an interesting series from her. But yeah, no surprise that that a lot of people gravitate to it because people know esports, man. What about it? Did you see? No, you didn't see How to Train Your Dragon. I know you didn't.
I watched all of Stick this week.
The Owen Wilson one.
I watched the whole show. I mean, it was good. It was charming. I feel like maybe I'd said before someone had asked me if I'd watched it, and I said I'd given it 10 minutes and turned it off. But I don't think I gave it a fair chance. Mance really liked it. Mance was like, "You really need to watch it," and I did, and I'm glad I did. It was quite good. The kid in it, whose name escapes me because I always fast forwarded through the credits. Maybe it's like Daniel Major or something like that. Mager. He's like a Spanish flavored Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Is it Peter Dager? Peter Dager?
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. How's Mark Maron in the show?
Good. I mean, he's very Mark Maron-y. He's doing Mark Maron things.
I like him.
You know who's good in it is the woman from, I think she's from Roma. Mariana
Trevino. Yeah, Mariana Trevino. Yeah.
She's really good.
Okay.
Trevino, forgive me.
Look, that's a Latina actress. You like her?
She was good.
I thought Catalina Sandino Moreno was good in Ballerina, even though they didn't give her much to do. I thought she was good in Ballerina.
You know who's good on Stick is Lily Kay, who I really like.
Okay.
She was on that Bryan Cranston, Michael Stuhlbarg show, Your Honor.
Oh, yeah.
Stuhlbarg's daughter.
Did you like that one?
Yeah.
That's a good show, huh? Okay.
Yeah, you should watch that. Did you?
I should watch that. I like that kind of stuff. All right. That's, I haven't seen anything. I'm going to go see them all tomorrow. So I will have reviews over the weekend for Materialists, which I'm kind of dreading watching, to be honest with you. And then How to Train Your Dragon and Life of Chuck, which Jeff, I know, is not a big fan of it. So I want to see if I like it or not, right? Yeah, there you go. Okay, let's move on to the questions. Max Law says, did Rocha see Life of Chuck yet? On any positive reaction? I did not see it. I will see it this weekend. It's a busy weekend. My reviews will be up. Miguel Zayn says, can you all give me notes on a log line? Jeff, do you still give notes on your Insta DM? Can I get comments on my log line? Also, in any screenwriting tips today? You have to give your log line notes.
Yeah. Yes, if you DM me, I will give you notes on your log line.
Yeah.
Screenwriting tips, Roga?
It's important to make sure your villain is a powerful presence in whatever you're creating, because your hero only looks good, really good, when they overcome a really good villain. So that's what I would say, screenwriter or antagonist. You want to make a good antagonist because that only makes your protagonist look all the more interesting for the audience. So that's what I would say. Shelf presence. Excited for Superman Spaceballs will save us all. Absolutely. I'm Too Fly Cam. Kiki in Spaceballs 2. Yikes, she needs a new agent. My God. What are you talking about, dude?
I mean, she's got the Burbs coming up.
Yeah, people liked the film from earlier this year, even though it didn't, explode at the box office. People liked it, She's working with Jordan Peele. What are you talking about? Evan, Oscar nomination for Timmy for Marty Supreme, Sandler for Jay Kelly. Add Rocha to FYC. No, they'll never add me. They'll never add me.
Oh, Latino?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Don't get me started. Go ahead.
It's certainly possible. I've heard good things about Marty Supreme. So, yeah, Timmy will be back in the mix. And, yeah, Sandler's supposed to be in the mix for a supporting actor nod for Jay Kelly. We'll see.
Yeah, there you go. Reggie Brown. Jeff, you said not so confidently that Sinners need around $325 million. Then John said maybe $425 and co-signed. Then the next day you gave me a response in comment section and said everyone that thought Sinners only needed $30. Is that what you said?
I think she meant 300. At no point, Reggie, I don't know what you're saying. So now you're saying I didn't say it, right? You're saying that John said it and I co-signed. So forgive me for not pushing back on every little thing John says. Which maybe I should.
No, we know.
At no point did I ever say it needed $425 million. That doesn't even make sense because, again, if they paid, they're saying 90, but let's call it 110. Yeah. And let's add half of 110, which is 55. Right? So that's 110 plus 165. Let's just multiply that by 2. That's 330, which is, I'm saying you quoted me at 325. All right, 330, whatever. It doesn't make sense that I would say 425 because that would be cut in half, $212 million. And all in, Sinners did not cost $212 million. Yeah. I'm acknowledging that. So I don't know what you're like tripping about. But I know I didn't say 425, and forgive me if John said it and I was like, okay, sure, 425.
Yeah. I mean, look, people are obsessed with this film in terms of the box office and success and all that. And I get it, of course. But we don't know what the real numbers are behind the scenes, right? But like it's saying all they're talking about is how much the movie has made versus how much it was made for. We can't quite verify that, but the numbers we have, it's doing really well for what it's done. And it's about to come out, I think, on digital. It came out on digital rather earlier this week. So, and yeah, Jeff can't push back on everything. I mean, we all have things we say.
But I mean, this was the person who was talking about the ballerina stuff.
Right. All right.
Yeah, this is the same person. And their whole thing was that, I'm friends with Eli Roth or something. And so that discredits everything that I say about movies. I'm pretty sure I was on the podcast a few weeks ago talking about how I don't like Eli Roth's new horror company, that business venture. It feels like a scam.
Yeah. That guy, the less said about that guy on the show. I'm not an Eli Roth person. It's made $339 million, making it one of the highest grossing horror movies of all time so far, Sinners. So, yeah, congratulations. Matt Sinister McCall, what movie would be better, 28 Years or Weapons? Ooh. Well, 28 Years Later just had a screening. I saw some people tweeting about them not being able to talk about their feelings about it, but it basically implying that they loved it. So I think they're both going to be good. I don't think I can choose between the two. What about you, Jeff?
Someone may have texted just a few moments ago and said that they weren't hearing the greatest of things about 8 years later. Oh, no. I think it looks great.
Yeah.
So let's not get the two confused. I'm just telling you what was texted to me.
Yeah.
I haven't really talked to too many critics about their thoughts or whatever. I don't think critics are in a rush to tell me what they think of things. But if I'm gonna, put money on one, I'm gonna say Weapons, just because I've read that script.
Yeah,
and I think that's gonna be very effective.
Okay, Reggie Brown says, you wrote that everyone said the Sinners needed only 300 million. That was stupid. You wrote that everyone said.
So now you just changed, Reggie, from 300 to 425. It did need 300.
Yeah.
Wait, you wrote that everyone said it needed only 300. It needed more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? 300 was not enough to be theatrically profitable. Okay, forget the ancillary money. Forget the 80 million on VOD and Blu-ray sales that Warner Brothers is going to make. We generally talk about box office in terms of whether a movie is profitable in theaters.
Right. And
if I just did the math, right, 110, 55, multiply it by 2, that is more than 300. So, yes.
There you go. Okay.
The only thing that I failed to account for in that is that the split actually isn't 50-50, as at least one distributor exhibitor told me.
Okay.
That it was a 55-45 split for Warner Brothers.
Okay. So they are making money off this.
It's just like you're fucking playing semantics, Reggie. Like who, Yeah.
Well, thank you, Reggie.
The movie was made for too much money. He went over budget.
Okay. Let's move on. Ray Pennybody, when do you expect an Avatar 3 trailer? Ooh. Maybe December? What do you think, John?
When does it come out? Doesn't it come out this December?
Does it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, yeah, it is coming out this year. Shit. I forget. I'm so lost in the July thing. So probably July.
I think this summer. I think with all the blockbusters with Superman and fucking Jurassic Park and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. Mike Joyce, thoughts on the Materialists? I haven't seen it, Jeff. You see it? You didn't see it?
No, I didn't see it.
Okay. Sorry. Thank you, Mike. Luke TG11 saw How to Train Your Dragon. I was skeptical, but I enjoyed it. The VFX gave the dragons and the locations a real sense of scale. Seeing it again tomorrow. Stay sexy. That's for you, I think. My sexy days are long gone. Evan says, budget for Materialists is only 20 million. Who took a pay cut? I think Pascal is overrated as a pull. Granted, he hasn't led a movie yet.
Hey, he's not a pull yet. I mean,
yeah.
Did anybody go see Freaky Tales because of Pedro Pascal? Yeah. Materialist is coming in at like 8 or 9 million for the weekend, which is not a lot. You'd like to see this movie crack like the 12 or 13 million range, I think. Who took a pay cut? Fucking Chris Evans took a pay cut just to be a part of a Celine Song A24 movie.
Do you think this is going to do well?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either. They're too pretty for a rom-com. All three of them are, I don't know. I'm just dreading one. 2 hours, too. It's a 2-hour movie.
I mean, you're making I'm just...
An A24 rom-com about 3 pretty people struggling through. I mean, just like,
I'm a little with you. And again, I don't care what this says about me. I'm not trying to out anybody or be an asshole. Yeah. I just don't buy him as a straight romantic lead.
Oh, well, fair. That's a separate conversation, right? But I hear you. I'm more about the Dakota. I'm not really the biggest fan of Dakota as an actress. But Drew Salazar say, hey, guys, love the show. Most anticipated movies TV for the rest of the year. All the summer stuff. Is there anything? Is Weapons this year? I would say Weapons.
Yeah, Weapons is definitely up there. Lurker. Lionsgate just got its hands on this Taron Egerton movie, She Rides Shotgun, that it dated for August 1st.
Oh, nice.
Looking forward to that because I read that book a couple months ago.
Naked Weapon. I'm looking. Oh, Naked Gun.
Naked Weapons. I like that. If those are coming out on the same day. Naked Weapon. That'd be the new Barbenheimer.
Loaded Weapon.
And listen, as a child of the 90s, who's the biggest, or not, it wasn't the biggest poster in my room. It was probably the second biggest poster.
Yeah.
I loved it as a teenage boy, and you can only imagine why. Was I know what you did last summer, and I am looking forward to the reboot.
I saw someone do a poster of it with The Rock, and it says, "It doesn't matter what you did last summer," which I thought that was brilliant. And I'll shamelessly say that I'm looking forward to the next Downton Abbey movie that's coming out in September. I saw the trailer earlier this week, and I was like, I'm ready. Highest to Lowest looks awesome as well. Oh yeah, what did the Kiss of the Spider-Woman trailer, Jeff? That I get why people are hyped, but I gotta be honest with you, it kind of didn't do anything for me, man. Did you? Or were you into it?
I mean, it's a classic musical sort of trailer, right? It's playing up the Bill Condon, all those musical credits that he has.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, it looks grim. I mean, half of it's like set in a prison.
Yeah.
But like that newcomer, Tona Tia, I don't know how you pronounce his name. But he looks really talented. He could end up being like a major star.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's supposed to get J-Lo an Oscar nom, so we'll see.
We'll see. Connor Przolomski says the EW interview with Gunn about the Batman 2 script not being done yet was conducted back in March. Interestingly, he may very well have Is it? I don't remember reading that in the article. But why would you put?
I buy it because these interviews happen so far out, and then you're supposed to bank them, and it makes, and then you release it in May, and he's like, or June, and he's like, I haven't seen a script yet. Yeah, he hadn't seen it in March because it came in the end of May.
Well, that's not. Why not put that in the article, saying like after he says that, put in parentheses, which they usually do in articles, and say this was as of March, but when this article or when this interview occurred. I don't know why you wouldn't add that. So it's a little weird that they didn't do that. Robert Jenkins says, really like the Eddington trailer, but it's tough for me to be excited for it when I haven't liked an Ari Aster movie since Hereditary. Fair. Yeah, you said his career was dead after Bo. It seems to still be alive there, Jeff.
Well, he did have to go out and get fucking Emma Stone, Austin Butler, Pedro Pascal, and Joaquin Phoenix in order to get his movie made. He wasn't like
that's true.
I'm making a movie with Jack Rayner and Florence Pugh here, or Toni Collette. So, he listen. I don't see like Ari Aster being like bombarded with studio offers or anything.
Yeah, probably not.
And I don't know what that means. Like,
right.
Robert, did you think that he was actually done directing? Did you think that I meant that, like, literally? That he was... It is an atrocious, unwatchable movie. Bo is great, and I don't care how much it made. I don't care about awards. I don't care about anything. I trust my eyeballs.
Okay, there you go. Derek Johnson, thank you, Derek, sending support for us here on the show. Derek, you're amazing. Thank you, brother, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Derek. I need some support. A little bra for myself.
Hello. I have two Black answers. Congrats to Andor being #1 on the Nielsen charts. I can't remember the last time anything Disney Plus beat Netflix. I don't remember the last time Disney Plus beat Netflix on streaming charts. Andor is an achievement. I agree. It's an amazing achievement, Jeff.
Was it actually number 1 on the Nielsen charts?
That's what it was. Because those figures finally came in, because it takes like a few weeks for them to lock in. So good stuff. Steph 86, World of Reels reporting that A24's The Drama had a great test screening last night. Have you heard anything about the release date?
October. No, I made that up. Yeah. The Smashing Machine is October, so I don't know how many movies A24 will be releasing this fall, but it does seem like it could be ready in time for the fall. Maybe they're testing it ahead of the fall festivals.
Yeah, some people are saying that Pattinson could really get nominated for this one. Alana Haim is in it. Oof.
I don't think anyone knows what they're talking about when they say so-and-so could get nominated.
Fair.
I don't trust any of these people.
Okay. Matt says to McCall says, theaters in your area you hate going to and why? I don't really hate going to any of the theaters in my area, especially the new. They just put leather seating in the new one near me, so I'm happy going now.
Yeah, who would hate going to a movie theater? I mean,
yeah.
Then wouldn't you just stop going?
Yeah, I think so.
But the Grove, I don't like having to pay for parking.
That's right.
Just how many places in the country have that where like the tickets here are already expensive enough. Now I got to spend more money to park. Oh, and by the way, if the projector breaks like it did right as Ballerina was starting, and then we had to scramble to the screening 45 minutes later, guess who is paying for that 45 minutes in the parking lot?
Yeah, that's true.
I paid $16 to park at the Grove the other night on top of, it's just.
I don't miss that. There's no parking. There's no payment for parking here. Obi Sanders Sneider, RAS's career is over after Bo. We addressed that. Thank you, Obi. Appreciate you remembering. Doug, if J-Lo wins an
Career should have
Oscar,
been over.
if J-Lo wins an Oscar for Kiss of the Spider-Man, Rocha will explode. Not if she's good in it. Not if she's good in it. My head won't explode.
We'll see how many people go see Eddington this summer in the middle of fucking Superman and Fantastic Four and Jurassic Park. We'll see how many people turn up for this movie with four giant stars in it.
Owen Lanning, Young Frankenstein will always be my favorite movie ever. My grandma loved Mel and showed me as the movie's far too young. Graham was a baller. We'll always think of her watching Mel's movies. Yeah, Young Frankenstein is genius, just utter genius.
Have you ever thought, Owen, that Mel Brooks might be your grandfather? He may have actually made it with your grandma.
I stooped her. Yeah, there you go. But maybe. Jake says, I'm something of a miser myself. I'm something of a miser myself. Matt Sister McCall, will Mia Goth be a Sith? She's crazy sexy as Pearl. Yeah, maybe. Jeff.
Ooh, McCall likes those girls with the crazy eyes. I'll take her as the girl in X or in Maxine. Pearl is probably the least sexy for me, but hey, you do you, man.
Yeah. Alan Smith, Yo Rocha and Sneider, have you guys seen the trailer for Luc Besson's Dracula, A Love Tale? Looks like a lot like a wimpier version of Coppola's Dracula. Is Luc Besson still relevant? Leon is a classic lates. I don't think he's still relevant in the way that he was before.
Definitely not still relevant, really.
I so much so that I didn't even see the trailer. I mean, I saw the trailer. I didn't watch it, though.
I saw the trailer, actually.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm a big Caleb Landry Jones guy.
Oh, yeah. You
it looked okay. I mean, it looked like a richly produced foreign film. I mean, this is probably, independently financed in France. So for that, it looked rather big.
Okay, cool. I like Luc Besson. I like him. La Femme Nikita is still, for me, untouchable. I think you referenced it in your review, like in comparing Ballerina to La Femme. It's like not even a contest.
No, and I sleep, under the watchful eye of Jean Reno from The Professional.
That's true.
He's in my bedroom, so.
Wasn't Anne Pariot? Wasn't she just in something? Anne Pariot? I can't remember. Oh yeah, she's in Ballerina. She's actually in Ballerina. She plays the concierge in Prague. I didn't even catch that it was her until later.
No, me neither.
Wow. Mr. Poppy, Snoop was great as the weed vulture in Half Baked. Oh yeah, that's right. 34 Virgo, do you like Snoop and Baby Boy? $50 says no. I don't think I like anybody in Baby Boy. No offense to Tyrese. Drew Salazar. Jeff loves the Latinas. There you go, Drew.
If you only knew.
Okay. All right. I do like him says, if you were Jenna Ortega's agent, what would your move be after Wednesday? Isabella
Thursday.
Isabella Merced seems to have really progressed in her career. Jenna needs to ascend. Well, Isabella's on a different path. Like Jenna wants to lead projects, right? Isabella is happy being ensemble, close to the lead, not quite the lead, except for, of course, Dora. So it's a different approach, and so I hear you, but what do you think, Jeff? Does she need to ascend to Jenna Ortega?
It's a good question.
You
know what I'm thinking for Jenna Ortega?
What's that?
DC.
Yeah. I mean, her as Zatanna would be interesting.
I'm not thinking Marvel for her. I'm not thinking Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm thinking DC for her.
Yeah, I could see that. C Black says, any updates or news on the MCU?
Nope.
Okay. Could she be Wonder Woman? Could Jenna be Wonder Woman?
No.
Too small, right? Yeah. Samuel says, any updates to Jordan Peele's next film? Well, there was a new trailer for him, the thing he produced. Anything else, Jeff? No? All right.
Nope.
Wayne Edwards says, what's up, fellas? Last Friday night, some industry friends took me to a cool FYC screening of Sly Lives at the DGA. What an excellent documentary. There was a Q&A with Questlove afterwards, days before Sly Stone's death. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention Sly Stone as well. Passed away this week. There was the 3. Yeah, that's right. What a shame. I loved Sly and the Family Stone. Jeff, your thoughts on this?
I love The Family Stone, the Diane Keaton movie. No. Was that Diane Keaton? Yeah, Sly Stone, also an incredible artist who left a wealth of fantastic music. Love his energy.
Also a guy who struggled with anxiety and some mental health stuff as well throughout his career. So yeah, I got to see that documentary. I think it's on Hulu now, so I got to watch that one because I loved. What was Summer of Love, the one that Questlove produced that was really excellent as well, and Sly was in that, I think.
Maybe Jake Schreier will direct the biopic.
Maybe. Mr. Poppy. Jeff, here's some bra support. Much love, bros. Thank you, Mr. Poppy. Appreciate that.
It's a bra.
Robert Giacinta says, with both of you looking to lose a few pounds, you guys should both do weigh-ins to end every show. Brother, I've only lost 35 pounds. I don't need to do weigh-ins anymore. I'm good. I'm going to lose a little more, but I'm good, right around where I want to be. So what about you, Jeff? Do you want to do weigh-ins every week?
No, because you already look too good.
I'm not looking to lose a few pounds.
You make me look bad. You look so good. So.
No, bullshit. You're thinner than I am. Fantastic says, lucky the numbers for Andor didn't come out before Tony Gilroy's interview, or he really would have let Filoni have it. Yeah, maybe.
I don't know what interview you're referencing.
Oh, yeah, he did an interview recently, a number of interviews, talking about Andor versus Rogue One, talking about the romances, and then also talking about how Disney doesn't believe in streaming anymore, doesn't want to fund it. He had to fight for $650 million just to do Andor. So there's a lot there. And
yeah, that's a big loss.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You can't make shows for that. Even if they top the Nielsen's. But Tony Gilroy, his movie that he was shopping, Behemoth, I'm told has landed at Searchlight. So.
Oh, nice. That's good. Yanks. Hey guys, great show as usual. Jackass 5. Will it happen, Jeff? The world could use some madness that is actually fun, plus butt shots. There you go.
Here we go. This might be a controversial opinion, but it might be true at this point.
Okay.
It's possible that Jackass has become the greatest live-action active franchise now that Mission Impossible has had its final reckoning.
Really?
I don't know of a more consistently enjoyable live-action franchise that there is.
I like Jackass. And I'm not usually a fan of those kinds of things, but I for some reason, the personalities, the people that get to do it, it reminds me of some of the best of Howard Stern stuff when he had those his crazy crew of guys at the beginning. Maybe even early Schmoes Knows shows with that collection of people. So
you're right around where I think what it reminds me of. You're right, sniffing around it, and that's Kevin Smith.
Oh yeah, fair point.
Reminds these movies. Yeah, they're all about the stunts, and we want to see people getting hurt and doing crazy shit. But they're actually, it's good to see these guys again. It's almost like Always Sunny or so. It's like, oh, the gang is back together. And granted, the gang has changed over the years. But I really enjoyed Jackass 4. I would love to see a fifth installment. And it's okay if Johnny is more of a master of ceremonies than the guy taking the hits, because they have so many young guys who are down to take the mantle. Poopies forever.
And older guys like the dude's dad who was taking those hits. But yes, I agree. Like Johnny doesn't need to do these anymore. The one where he got hit by the bull again, it was scary. I don't think Johnny should do these things anymore, man. I mean, it's important because no one's gonna come see a Jackass movie from Bam Margera or from Steve-O. It's Johnny who sells it. And if you lose Johnny, you lose the franchise. It doesn't make sense. So don't put him through that stuff. All right, let's hit the Streamlabs rather and get to those as well. I can't bring those up on the screen, but I usually read them for those of you who are maybe new to the show. Philly says, who would you guys like to see star in Ryan Coogler's X-Files reboot? Jeff, do you have a twosome in mind?
This is a series?
I think so, yeah.
Ryan Coogler's X-Files reboot.
A reboot of the X-Files, yeah.
I'd have to think about this, but I do. It's a good question. I do want to give it a good answer. I mean, I
don't want to go out on a limb. Don't be surprised if it's a black woman and a black man. I hope
that's what I was going to say. I was thinking, could you see Kaluuya as
100%
Fox Mulder?
Yeah,
or maybe not Mulder, but the male lead, whoever it is. All right. So, but what lady? What lady?
I don't know. It's a good question. Who could we see play? Why don't we think about it and we'll move on? We'll get the next one when we'll think about it.
All right.
Fanboy Ben says, Jeff, any updates on Drew Goddard's new Matrix? It's been a while since we got that announcement. Drew Goddard's new Matrix. Anything, Jeff?
No, I have not heard a peep about it. I don't, I saw some Ariana Grande rumors. I don't know about that.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah, I don't think that's the direction we're going with this.
Doug Developer says, I thought Ballerina was way better than the Matt Damon-less Bourne Legacy, and that film made $250 million worldwide. Such a shame now that it will give those people ammunition to go against female-led spin-off films. Doug, I got to tell you something, and this comes from the heart. I think you're too obsessed with what other people think or say about these situations. Like, you're never going to shut them up. No matter how much success a female-led action film has or does, those people are always going to find something because they need to find something. So this is not going to give any real ammunition to anyone who really understands what happened here to go after any female-led spin-off films. I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, shit, we're dragging the Bourne Legacy into this.
Yeah.
Here's a news flash, guys. That whole franchise is super overrated.
John Wick or Jason Bourne?
Jason Bourne.
Yeah, okay. Fair point. Jeffrey says, hey guys, any word on what is Marvel Studios' untitled July 2027 date, what the film is? Doubt it's Black Panther 3. Coogler is working on his X-Files reboot. Maybe Raimi's Doctor Strange 3, since Jeff reported back in October of 2024. But isn't he working on Send Help, releasing in January of 2026? Yeah, Jeffrey.
These fucking dates are all fake. Okay, there are no actual Marvel movies coming out on some of these dates. Some of them they just hold for other things, so they can move Freaky Friday 2 into it.
Just
like
Friday.
They're just placeholders to signal to the town, don't come near here for as long as we can get you to believe that there's a movie coming out here.
Dakota at Sunrise says, personally, I'm looking forward to Robert Eggers' telling of the Christmas Carol, giving it a horror style energy to it. Yeah, I mean, that's a great point, Jeff. It's going to be probably much more of a horror approach to it. Doesn't that excite you?
Which one?
Robert Eggers' Christmas Carol.
Sure. Yeah, the ghosts are scarier.
Yeah. Mike Green 74 says, why is it so easy to piss off John? It's not easy to piss me off. I'm just a passionate person. You've never seen me really pissed off. None of you ever have. Not really. None of you have ever seen me really pissed off.
You've never seen Rocha behind enemy lines with fucking grenades around his fucking...
I think if you had been in the crowd at the Schmodown draft, that is probably the closest I've ever come to legitimately being pissed off in a public situation.
Schmodown? Wait, what draft?
When they took me, when it was the fourth place thing that they joked around about, like I was supremely pissed. It was because I just got let go by Collider and Makuga was making all those jokes about all of us who got fired from, and I was just like, I was not in a good place when he did that because I was still pissed off about it. And so when that whole thing went down the way it went down, I just completely took it in the wrong way. And I just got super like mad, just super pissed. So yeah, no, the other stuff is just.
I think I've seen you pretty super pissed, but never armed.
Yeah, never on camera. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
never armed.
Yeah, you've seen it. Yeah,
I miss Makuga.
Well, he's out there somewhere. And Jeff really is like the Danny DeVito character in LA Confidential. Happy Grand Prix weekend from MT, I guess Montana or something. I don't know what MT is. Are you the Danny DeVito character in LA Confidential? I don't know if you're that.
I mean, I'd like to think I'm getting laid more than Danny DeVito.
Oh, yeah. I think you're more the Kevin Spacey character.
Oh, shit. Vince Spence.
Rolo Tomasi. Chaos says, hey, Jeff, any updates on the Clayface screen tests? Can you report who THR said is out of the running? Yeah, Jeff, do you know which of the 4 are out of the running?
I don't, but I imagine it's Leo Woodall.
Okay. Claw says, hi, Jeff. Do you have anything about which animated projects that DC may be developing? There are reports that the animated Metal Man movie is being revived and fast-tracked for the DCU. Let me answer for Jeff. No, he has no clue about it. Jeff, do you?
I don't. Metal Man? We just did Miracle Man this morning.
Metal
right?
Man. Metal Man.
Metal Men?
Yeah, that's a whole different. Yeah. It's too far for you. It's too far. Let it go. John for Barca. Hey, Jeff and John, I really enjoyed your insights and general knowledge of the business. Please explain to me, why do people within the industry reveal info to insiders such as yourself, Jeff? Is it risky for them to do, or are people like Feige okay with with that happening? Well, let me just say real quick, leaks happen everywhere, even national security. So if you think film information is somehow under lock and key, you're out of your mind. But Jeff, please answer the question.
I mean, I break stuff because people like me. Because when you get to know me, I'm a fun guy. So yeah, it's really just about engendering loyalty in folks who are in a position to help and don't like what's going on.
Right.
Where all the trades are owned by one person and they want to see someone, they want an alternative. They want to see somebody push back against that. They want to have a voice in things, you know.
Yeah.
These are the types of industry people who, you know, they're the ones who are seeing movies like Superman early and saying, hey, I heard, you know, it wasn't that great. And then you know, put their voice out there. So it's not just the information that they're sharing with me, but they also have a say in the narrative, if they will. Or what the narrative's not, right? The other
right.
that I hold. Again, I wish I could tell you the backstory on the Celine Song thing.
Right.
So I just want to say that I think there's a misconception that when I break a story, it's like someone involved in the story was telling me, someone's agent or manager, and they're like, oh, they're just using Jeff's. I'm like, no, that is not what's happening. These people do not want their shit in my newsletter. They want everything on Deadline.
Right.
Even though Deadline is the third place trade, I was told by a studio publicist this week. Wow. They were like, just so you know, Deadline is far behind Hollywood Reporter and Variety in terms of monthly traffic.
Wow.
They suggested that I do some trade traffic stories.
Okay.
And I tried, like, you know, looking at ComScore and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know if I want to push the buttons like that.
Yeah.
But he said it would definitely get under people's skin.
Wow. Well, that's what you aim to do. I guess
I'm a disruptor, baby. Yes, and I think that people like to try to help me disrupt. It is healthy that I keep people on their toes.
Yeah, I think so too. It's good. Hollywood doesn't have to go unchecked. It's nonsense that they think they should. John, okay. Triforce. Since Colin Farrell said he's nowhere near prepping for Batman 2 and still no script is ready, then if Superman does well enough, do you think Reeves and Gunn will merge worlds? Well, we've been asking that question for weeks now, brother. So, Jeff, any update on your opinion on this?
I'm so sick of it. I don't even know. I don't care.
Okay. No, and no offense, buddy. No offense, buddy. We've just been asked that question many, many times. I think it's all going to depend on, I think we're all just waiting for Superman. However Superman does will dictate the answer to those questions in the very near future.
What if Superman doesn't beat the Batman at the box office?
Right.
Because, again, it's like, you know, we've heard a lot about Superman, what it's tracking for domestically.
Yes.
Just like we heard a lot about Jurassic World Rebirth today, about how that's tracking domestically, which is not nearly as high. Yeah. And it's also over a 5-day holiday weekend instead of a 3-day weekend.
Yeah.
The problem, right, is that both of those stories, neither one accounts for international.
Oh, right. Good point.
Jurassic World is going to be much bigger internationally than Superman is internationally, because Superman doesn't do that well internationally because he, you know, is perceived as this American figure.
Right. Oh man. Okay. I'm sorry, Jeff.
No, it's okay. You okay?
Yeah, it's a headline popped up. I don't want to bring the show down, but this just popped up on saying that Israel has launched preemptive strikes against Iran and that there is a state of emergency being declared in Israel now. So Jesus Christ, man. We're talking about frivolous stuff that we're having fun talking about, of course, and we love doing the show, but you know, every once in a while, real life comes barging in. It's unsettling. Rohit Dar says, any news and updates for DCU, especially for casting scoops? Jeff, have you heard anything? Casting scoops?
No.
Okay. All right. Alan Smithy, isn't Knoxville doing the pooping zombie flick? That's a reference to the studio, I think. So, yes, nice there, Smithy. Hans says, is Anna Armour's career in trouble post Ballerina? Oh, no. People think she's a good actress. I don't think Ballerina is going to ruin people's opinion of her as an actress. It might ruin where people see her, like in terms of being able to put butts in seats, but I don't think it's going to ruin her. What do you think, Joe?
No, I don't think that. I just don't think that she'll have to shoulder a movie that's $100 million. I don't think that she's going to be put in that position again.
I agree.
But yeah, she's totally like a female lead opposite a big movie star, something like that.
Yeah. Donald Glover, self-presence. Donald Glover is Mulder. I could see that. After Mrs. Smith, Jeff, do you think that's a possibility?
No.
No? Wow. Okay. All right.
No, I don't get a Mulder vibe from my boy Donald.
Okay. All right. I think that's all the Streamlabs and Super Chats. Jeff, is there anything else you want to discuss, or shall we wrap it up, my friend?
I mean, do we mention Jared Leto?
Oh, what happened with Jared Leto? Go ahead. Take it.
What happened with Jared Leto?
I think I don't know any.
Nothing's happened. Like it's the same Jared Leto stuff that we've heard about for the last decade or whatever.
The accusation.
Airmail did a whole story about the allegations, and the first thing I thought about was Tron.
Right.
I mean, after the victims, of course. Then I thought about Tron and movies like Masters of the Universe, where he's Skeletor. I don't know if these allegations will really impact those movies. You already sort of sensed from the article studio insiders being like, well, these things didn't happen on set and that kind of thing. It's always just so funny just to see the spin cycle in action.
From female publicists, no less.
Yeah, exactly. Of course.
Weird.
Yeah. Always.
Yeah.
Some of the claims, seem, I'm sure it's not that some are more believable than others, but some of them seem worse than others.
Yes.
But yeah, it's I think that this is all sort of floated around Jared Leto for a long time, so it wasn't anything terribly surprising.
Yeah, somebody brought up an old tweet from James Gunn where he made a comment about it way back when. I think implying something about the age of these women and whatever, and it was like, whoa. A Saturday report from Airmail contained accounts from 9 accusers, almost all speaking anonymously, saying that Leto serially pursued them, some while they were underage in the mid to late 2000s. He's accused of exposing himself and harassment. He denies any wrongdoing. But as you mentioned, Jeff, this comes right as Tron Ares and He-Man are on the precipice of coming out. I don't know where we are on this stuff, because I was watching like Andrew Schultz the other day, and he some clip on TikTok or something, and he was like, I don't even care. Like getting accused of sexual assault is like a rite of passage now. Like you always get accused of this stuff. I don't really put much credit until I see more information on it. And I'm like, is that the mentality that people have nowadays, are starting to develop this mentality that they're kind of numb to all of this stuff? Because even today, the Harvey Weinstein trial, he was convicted on one, he was not convicted on another count. And on the third count, they declared a mistrial because the foreman came in there and said that they were, I think he said that they were coming to blows, or there was like, it was not safe to keep discussing this. But then the other jurors who were talked to by the judge said, we don't know what the foreman is talking about. We were quite happy to have this conversation. So it seems like it's morphing. It's changing the attitude people have. And do they really care about this stuff in the ways that they did before? I don't know, Jeff. It seems like an interesting place, not interesting in a good way, just more like kind of like, wow, it's weird to be in this place where now these accusations don't carry as much weight as they did like a few years ago, it seems like.
I definitely think attitudes have shifted.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, attitudes.
Yeah, on a societal level, but like obviously, rape and sexual assault and sexual misconduct are still awful things.
Of course. Yes. I feel like that's a given in what I was saying. I'm sorry if I didn't stress that, but that is absolutely a given. I'm talking more about the reaction to people to this kind of stuff and how it might affect people. Yeah.
I definitely think that, people, are maybe more cautious about jumping to certain conclusions.
Right. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Because, I mean, what does this mean? How far will this go? And speaking of legal stuff, one last thing we should talk about. The Baldoni thing got thrown out there, Jeff. Some of the claims, he's going to re-amend some of the claims going forward. So what do you think about this? And then she just subpoenaed Scooter Braun to come and testify. If that isn't doing Taylor Swift's dirty work, I don't know what is. What are your thoughts on this whole situation here? Does it make sense? Did you anticipate they would throw out some of Baldoni stuff and wait?
I'm not a lawyer. I don't know what the judge would, allow or throw out.
Right,
I think the whole thing is absurd. I think that she needs to drop it now that she got her symbolic victory by his stuff being tossed.
Right.
She should not continue. It's only making her look terrible when every single headline is about this case, which everyone is just exhausted about. Go back to making movies. I don't think he's going to have to give up the rights or anything like that. That's not going to be in play.
Right.
If she wants those, she's going to have to pay for them.
Yeah, probably in the end. Yeah. Fredtastic, you said I missed your Streamlab, but I'm looking over right now. There is no Streamlab from you, Fred. I do not see it in here, so I'm sorry, brother. I don't know why it hasn't come through.
Fred, would you send it in invisible ink?
Fredtastic or Eric Kirby says, "Hey Jeff, if Legend of Zelda is a hit, do you think they will make a Metroid movie? She is one of the first female video game heroines from the 80s." I don't know that people have the same feeling for Metroid as they do for Zelda, Jeff. What do you think?
I'm on medication for Metroids right now.
Oh boy. Yikes.
I don't think we're that there's a Metroid movie happening.
Okay, all right, that should be it. We should get out of here. Sorry, Fred, I don't see it, man. Get your refund. I don't
you fucked up, Fred.
I don't see a Fredtastic 314 in here. Philly, Fanboy, Ben, Doug, Jeffrey, Dakota, Mike Green, Chaos, Claw, John for Bars and Try.
Why don't you just paste it into the fucking chat, bro?
Well, bro. Well,
we'll read it. We'll read it. I'll throw you a freebie.
Okay. All right. Put it in. It was about Violent Night 2. Yeah, it's coming out.
What possible questions could you have about Violent Night 2? What is there to know?
It's coming out soon. I think it was announced today, right? That it's coming out
yesterday. Tommy Wirkola coming back to direct. David Harbour coming back to play Santa Claus. Yes, we're going to see Mrs. Claus. I guarantee we're seeing Mrs. Claus. Maybe they throw a little bit more money at this sequel, and we see elves at the North Pole. But yeah, this is formula, and this is what's working at the box office, or at least what executives can defend to their bosses as far as green lights.
Who would be Mrs. Claus in the Violent Night? Who's in that 87 North-like family that could play Mrs. Claus? Because she's probably a badass as well, right, in her own way. So,
I mean, I'm gonna go with hot off of The Better Sister. Elizabeth Banks.
Oh, Banks probably would be a great choice.
Elizabeth Banks with David Harbour.
That's
I'm down for that.
Yeah. What do you think of? Did you like Better Sister? I'm resisting that one. Should I wait? Should I watch it?
Oh, I liked it. Yeah, thumbs up on Better Sister. To me, it was cool. Jamie wanted to know, what if you put Winona as Mrs. Claus?
Winona Ryder?
How many Winonas do you know?
No, because they already. Why would you rehash Stranger Things? I don't think.
Now, wait. Stop. Ask yourself that question again.
Yeah. Why would you rehash it? You've already
because it's Stranger Things. That's why you would cast the two of them.
People don't like rehashes.
Do specifically rehash it. That is why you would do it.
On the MCU for Robert Downey Jr. coming back. Are you kidding me? You think bringing back these two to play it again? And David Harbour even came out today and said that he's glad that Stranger Things is over because he got bored playing the same beat over and over again.
Winona is not Mrs. Winona does not have Mrs. Claus energy. So I would have told Jamie that if I was texting him in the middle of the show. I understand why he said it.
Oh, listen, Salma Hayek is an interesting choice because of her work in The Hitman's Bodyguard. I mean, she is great in those movies.
A woman like Salma Hayek is not living at the North Pole year round baking cookies. Okay,
I don't think Mrs. Claus is baking cookies. Oh, Hannah Waddingham is interesting, but I think that I don't know if I
could see that.
Yeah, you could. All right, maybe. I just don't know if I see them having chemistry, but maybe. All right. We got to get out of here. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us today. We appreciate it, man. Thanks for all the Streamlabs and Superchats. Really, really appreciate you all for sending love and support for the show. Jeff, another fun show. Please let people know where they can subscribe to your newsletter and hang out with you.
Subscribe to me at the Pink Cardigan Club, theinsnider.com, for all your movie development needs, all kinds of fun, exciting news. I just got a denial on tonight's story, which is a bummer because it's 6 o'clock and now it leaves me without an A story. So I don't know if I'll send tonight, but I do have a backup. I was going to send that tomorrow night, but maybe I'll do it tonight because nobody responded.
There you go. All right. Nice. They're tuning in there at theinsnider.com, y'all. As for me, you can subscribe to the Outlaw Nation. That's really big. We're getting close to 40,000 subscribers as we march towards 50. Please leave your comments down below and everything we talked about. Also, remember, we got a podcast. So subscribe to the podcast. You can hear Jeff and I. You don't have to see our pretty faces. You can hear Jeff and I talk about all the stuff we talk about here on the show and go back and rewatch it. And you can follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Outlaw Nation, and Twitch. All right. Thank you guys so much. Take care. Yeah.
We're doing a different schedule next week. So
yes. Oh, that's right. We should announce that. Go ahead. It's good, Jeff. Tell me.
I don't know what time. You won't know where, you won't know when, but you probably will if you follow us on Twitter. But yeah, it won't be at 4:00 on LA time because
probably be 12 p.m. PT is what we've done in the past. So either Thursday or Friday, 12 p.m. PT.
We'll see what I can swing with my adult schedule.
Yeah. So he's going to be in Boston for 3 weeks. So he's getting out while the getting's good. But yes, we'll let you know. So follow us on social media to let you know. Oh, Halle Berry for Violent Night. I kind of like that. I like that. Yeah, I think that works. That does work. All right, y'all. Y'all the best. Take care of yourselves. Go see a movie this weekend, and we'll talk to you next time with another brand new episode here of the Hot Mic. Peace. Until then.